We're back with another episode.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler.
I'm Fowler.
I'm Fleming. Thank y'all so much for joining us for a special episode this week. As you can see by people who are watching the video, we ain't changed our clothes. So yes, we are here again doing the second episode on the same day. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. So this episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit shorter because we know everybody is still wrapped up in the joy of Christmas as we're busy. Yeah, on vacation and all that kind of stuff. But we didn't want you guys to go without an episode, so we had to make sure that we went above and beyond the call of duty to be able to give you guys quality content.
The idea of having you have a Tuesday without our voices in your ears, oof. We wouldn't do it to you.
I mean, we have so many fans around the world that would just like lose their minds if we didn't come out.
We really do have listeners around the world. That's what shocks me.
We really do. We have listeners in about 21 different countries.
I know. I couldn't even tell you 21 countries.
I've only been to one other one besides the United States, and that's Europe.
It always starts with one. You just got to start somewhere.
Well, coronavirus shut everything else down, so we had no choice.
This was my travel year. I guess last year was the year that I was like, I've worked a year. I have money. I'm going to travel. Here we go. Miss Rona said, no.
And instead you took that monny and bought a house.
I sure did. I did.
Well, good for you.
Thanks.
Good for you buying a house. Well, again, this episode is going to be a little bit different. We actually just want to take a moment to look at our lives within the past year, kind of do like a year review, a year at a glance. Just kind of, reflecting on some things that we did both personally, professionally, with the podcast, how we've grown over this past year, and what we've learned, what this year has taught us, and kind of going from there. So, yeah. So how has this past year been for you, 2021?
2020 year.
What?
Yeah.
I guess that tells it all. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Have a great night. You are so silly.
2021 was rough. I feel like we thought we were going to be out of this stuff. We weren't out of this stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of curveballs thrown. I feel like after every high, there was a low. Yeah. Good lessons learned.
Give me one good lesson you learned this year.
Buying a house is hard. But worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I learned job-wise, you will never be upset that you didn't kill someone. You will never feel bad that you didn't mobilize someone because you know they didn't die. So just if you feel it in your gut, don't fucking do it.
So you learned to trust your gut is what you're saying.
I learned to trust my gut.
That's good.
Yeah. In a lot of things. Trust your gut, everyone. Mm-hmm. Just like I've learned that the most important thing you can do is just like safe keep your peace. Because in this day and age,
peace is priceless.
Truly. There's so much going on. You just got to make sure you're okay in yourself because the world out there is insane.
Very true.
Why? What did you learn?
I learned a lot this past year. I learned to set boundaries, number one, for myself, both personally and professionally. I think the beginning of the year where I started versus where I am right now, personally, I've definitely grown and matured a lot. I talk to my cousin all the time and I always tell her that, the way that I was back in the day, right, a few years ago, was to handle things very differently. And especially in corporate America, I have learned how to fight professionally because I've had no choice but to. And I've also learned how to, that number one, my voice matters, my opinion matters, and my feelings are valid. And when I am not in a position where my peace is being, when I'm in a position where my peace is being compromised, that it's time to go, even if I'm not personally ready for it to be that way. And I'll give a specific example. The fact that I started off this year still being at the bedside and working as a PT. And now that I'm no longer at the bedside, that's definitely been a journey for me because I could definitely see myself away from the bedside. That's one of the reasons why I went back to school and got my MBA, because there was always a desire to get away from the bedside. However, this year, especially at the job where I used to work, there was a lot of situations that occurred that prevented me from leaving the way that I wanted to, but it still let me leave the way that I wanted to, if that makes sense. So, I definitely think that I've learned how to fight, how to defend myself, but how to defend myself in a professional way, and learn how to fight like other people do. Hint, hint.
Other people. Weeple.
And yeah, and even too, like I think there's a even just different changes in relationships, both platonic and intimate, that I've had this year, has definitely taught me about reciprocity. Like I'm just not willing to be in any relationship with anyone, again, platonic or intimate, and it's not reciprocal.
Yeah.
Even with patients, like I think this pandemic,
it took everything
from me, girl, physically, mentally, emotionally. But I don't even really think it's the pandemic. Honestly, I think it was, again, the situation that I was in at working at this toxic ass job with this toxic ass leadership, and them basically covering for each other and colluding with one another. Yeah. That definitely took a toll on me emotionally, and it took a toll on me mentally. And I had to back up because it started affecting me physically. And so when it starts to affect me physically, I got to go. And so, just having the courage to leave. And again, sometimes you gotta be 10 steps ahead of people.
What's crazy for me is that I feel like this year when we were working together at our collective job, I was finding footing in that job, right? Because I was so new, and you were finding footing to leave it. Yeah. If that makes sense. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Because I was finally like, I'm here. I'm a therapist. I know what I'm doing, and I can get it. And you were finally like, I've been here and I'm comfortable leaving it. Yeah. And I know what I'm worth and I can get the fuck out. Yeah. But I don't understand why that had to be the same year. Exactly. I feel like we could have really benefited from another overlap, but it's fine.
Did it feel like I pulled the rug from my butt?
Yes. I was like, we're in a groove. We got it. She got me here. Like I knew I could do it, but it's nice to have someone there who's like, bitch, get your shit together. Absolutely. Here's what we're doing. You know you can do it. Yeah. Here's what you need to do.
And I think it was because the way that I had to do it, I couldn't give you a heads up of what was coming. No,
she just left me high and dry.
We literally recorded a podcast on a Sunday, and by Tuesday I resigned.
It was not right.
And she was like, bitch, I was just at your fucking house. So I'm like, yeah, I know I had to keep it quiet. But
but we always felt happy for you to leave, because I just feel like you can tell when someone's unhappy every day when they get... Listen, I feel like very few people are happy at work. Like, I'm never like, yeah, work. Let's get in there. Like, it's very few people that are that happy. But you can definitely tell when someone's just miserable in their situation, and no one wants that. We didn't want that for you. So we were very happy. But I was also sad for us, because listen, I know people say that your coworkers aren't your job. 100%.
But sometimes they are.
Sometimes I could not. 100%, 1,000%. I could not do this job without the people. I could do it, and it would be miserable without the people that I'm doing it with now. I can go find another job and probably have maybe better management or make more money. But I just like the risk of being stuck with people who aren't these people. Yeah. I don't know. And the other night, someone was like, "Well, you'll find other coworkers you can laugh with," and I was like, "Will I?"
But it won't be the same.
It won't be the same.
But even for me, like the fact that Cointa left, like Cointa was such a vital, like we were like
she was
twins.
The chip and the anchor for you.
She really was. She was an anchor for me, and for me and her to be working together for 2.5 years, literally, like it's different if you're in a cubicle with someone or you're sharing an office, but we're literally sharing a 4x4 space with one another, like a jail cell together of a room with patients, and putting our bodies to the limit. And when she left, that took a toll on me, because I was just like, well, damn, can I still reproduce the same results that I had with her? Which I knew I could, but it was just like, now I have to learn somebody over again. And it's just not the same. So it was like when she left, that took a chunk. Like it was already like I was ready to go. And then when Cointa left, I was just like, okay, I'm really free to go.
Well, and that's what people don't understand, because everyone has coworkers, right? And coworkers make your life either hell or they make your job bearable. Yeah. But with us, like, coworkers are my job. I need people to lean on. I need people that can help me. I need people. It's in my whole job every day. It's very easy for me to be like, what do you need? Where are you? What can I help you with? And it's very easy for my coworkers to be like, where are you? What room are you in? What can I help you with? And you need that kind of reciprocal relationship, because this job is taxing.
It is.
It's physically taxing. It's mentally taxing. I don't know what to do with this patient. They're stuck doing this and that. Mentally, we're not getting along. I need someone else to come in. What ideas do you have? And so it's so important to have people around you, because supervisors don't care.
No, they don't.
They need you to do your job.
You need somebody to help buffer.
Exactly. So it's good to surround yourself with people that you can get along with and have not necessarily the same viewpoint as, but just like are similar mindsets with, and all of those things, because there's so many people who suck. There's people who suck.
They just suck. They just do.
You work with, and you're like, we're never gonna see eye to eye.
Yeah.
We don't mesh well, and that's detrimental to the patient, but also for me. Like, I'm trying to help you. And
there's different levels of intensity too. Like, I feel like, the way that you and I worked, it was the same level of intensity as Cointha. Like, when I had a crazy idea to mobilize a patient who nobody else probably would mobilize, it should be like, okay, let's do it, but it's going to be on you. And you're kind of the same. You're just like, well, if you're going to do it, okay, I'll go along for the ride with you versus, like you said, that like-mindedness that we both have. And so I think just in a professional setting, and for us too, even just to be able to bridge that and carry that out of the corporate world, but into a personal world and starting a podcast together. Yeah. I definitely think we've grown as a podcast. We've grown in learning each other, even our chemistry. Like, if you look at and listen to, because we didn't have video at the very beginning, but look at some of our early episodes, how we were still learning our chemistry in this. Like, we developed our chemistry at the bedside, but then bringing that same chemistry over into on wax.
It's very different.
Exactly.
It's performative in a different way.
Exactly. Yeah. But we still have to play up. We still have to buffer each other.
We do. If there's a patient here, we could get it. Just you and me playing off each other, but there's someone else there. So it's different to have it translate onto audio or in camera.
And video.
Yeah, it's different.
Definitely. Yeah. It's a totally different world. So what have you learned from, like, just being able to, like, buy a house this year and kind of accomplish all of that? Like, what have you learned with that process? How has it helped you grow?
Have you ever seen that meme and it says, like, I'm fine, I can do it on my own, and it's the guy who's doing surgery on himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I've actually seen that.
I learned that you don't have to do surgery on yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to, like, let other people help me. But also I've learned to, like, my family's very big on opinion. We have a lot of women in our family with strong opinions, but we're all very close. And you can let someone have an opinion without it changing yours. Yeah. And I've always been like, they have an opinion and that's going to shape everything I do. I don't know. You can listen to people and just, like, let it go. Because at the end, like, it's your house, it's your money, it's whatever you want to do, it's your life. And I think I finally am like, okay, this is the year when I can make those moves, because it is my money and I have a job, and I can, if my life explodes, it's still my life. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Which is weird. It's weird being grown up.
Being an adult is trash.
It is ghetto. It is the most ghetto shit I've ever done. A mortgage every month, paying for shit. Why do I have to pay for water? I literally have to have it to live.
It's just water.
It's just water.
And why do I have to pay for trash? That makes no sense.
Also, like, if I want to buy a kitchen with all exposed shelving and no cabinets, why does that affect you so much, other people? Like, it'll be okay. I'm not a mother of 5. I don't have a, like, there's just things like that. And I get so, I'm really bad with anxiety and feelings, because I'm just like, let me just bottle it. It'll go away. And then I get anxious and I'm like, oh, everyone's going to be upset. And my mom's like, it's not the end of the world. You can get new cabinets. You can do this or that. So
you can literally do whatever you want.
You can literally do, it's your house. You can do whatever you want. I don't know. It was just a weird time to buy. It made me feel very able.
I was gonna say, did it make you feel more stable buying the house?
Made me feel more stable buying the house and more confident, and like I can take on big tasks and do things. Like buying a house is a big deal, and everyone makes it seem very like, oh, just buy a house. Right. But to me, I was like, well, holy shit, how do you buy a house? There's all these things you have to do. But then you do it and you're like, oh, I can do this. It is fine.
Like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I'm an adult grown woman and I can do things, even though I feel like a child all the time. I feel like I'm permanently stuck at 23. That's my mindset. Like, I'm 23 years old. And
you'll feel like that until you're 30.
Yeah, it's
and once
insane.
You're 30, that light bulb comes on and you're just like, I'm a bad bitch.
I'm like, I have more experience than, like, I just turned 21 and I can buy drinks at the bar. But, like, I'm definitely not out here buying real estate and investing in shit and having a 401k. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So there's a gap. But I feel like I got less of a hitch in my giddy up, if you know what I mean.
Less of a hitch in your giddy up. Yeah. That's the whitest thing she has ever said on this podcast. A hitch in your giddy up?
You know, like a little
pep in your step.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
I've got a little more pep in my step to do, I would assume, like, more adult responsible things.
Yeah. A hitch in your giddy up.
I'm a bad bitch. I don't know what I can say. She got her own house. She got her own car. One job. Mediocrely working. I'm an okay broad, you know?
Very true. What have you learned about yourself Like mentally, like how is your mental health right now, especially going through everything?
Not great.
Mine neither. We're in the same boat on that one. I don't think anybody's mental health is great right now.
I'm like, for as much as an advocate I am for therapy, I need to be in therapy.
Yeah.
That's my New Year's resolution, is to like buckle down and do it. I need to be in therapy.
I went to therapy, but I still go. I had to. It takes a while. Nobody tells you that it takes a while for you to find.
Therapy is like
person.
dating.
It is. It literally is dating.
But it's even worse because like I'm not
dating with your deep dark secrets.
Exactly, and that makes me even more hesitant to do. You know, and you have to pay for it.
Exactly. And you're just like, I'm paying for a shit date. It's like, now I see how men feel by paying for dates and they don't really like the girl or they don't vibe. And it's just like, God damn it, I just wasted all my goddamn money.
Yeah. And it's so condescending for me to be like, oh no, I'm such a big advocate for therapy, but I just don't go. Yeah. Like, fuck you. No, everyone needs therapy.
Well, your therapy is shit talking with your coworkers and your friends.
That is true. That is very true.
You know? Yeah. I think one of the biggest things for me mentally that I've did I give you a chance to answer that question? I think I kind of passed over that.
No, that's fine. You can answer it. I've got nothing. My mental health is all right. I feel like it could definitely be better. It's not the worst it's ever been. I'm on a lot of medication that's helping with that a lot. So
that's good.
Yeah. Is it? Should I? I don't know.
As long as you balance and you ain't shooting that shit.
That's true. I will tell you, this is the year I started taking antidepressants, and when I was on them for about a month, this like huge gray cloud over me just shifted, and that's when I was like, oh shit, I was depressed.
Yeah.
Like I felt a huge shift in me. Not like that everything was fixed or that I was like super happy, but I just didn't feel like doom and gloom all the time. And that's when I was like, yeah, she probably needs therapy. You probably shouldn't feel like that all the time.
Yeah, definitely not. That's not a good thing to feel.
New Year's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself some time.
That's good. That's good.
Why? How do you feel mentally?
I mean, mentally, I'm in a greater space than I was at the very beginning of the year.
Oh, good.
But it was a roller coaster for me because, again, there was more going on professionally that was traumatizing more than personally. And then, like I was talking to my cousin about this. One thing that I am appreciative of is my outlook on a lot of things, and my perception is very different about a lot of things. Like, for example, different relationships in my life. Like, you know how every year you kind of go through this thing of reevaluating relationships, again, platonic as well as intimate relationships. And one of the relationships that I've been looking at in particular is the relationship with my mother. And I'm not a person who has like mommy issues or anything like that. My mother was very present as a child, but as an adult, still very present. But I think people forget, or I kind of forgot, that my mom is a whole human being before she is a parent, right? Yeah. And so some of the decisions that she makes as an adult, it's about her. And even though I look at her as like, well, no, you're my mom, you should make decisions. She's like, bitch, you're a grown ass woman. Now, she didn't say that to me.
What's her name?
My mom, Betty.
Betty.
Yeah. So she's
like she's a Betty before she's your mom.
Exactly. And so it's kind of like, you know, there are certain decisions that she makes for her life. And I'm just like, but I'm your child. Like, what? But I'm your child. And she's like, yeah, but I'm a whole ass person out here in these streets.
That's what it feels like having a present mother, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because you're always like, no, me. You've been here and it's been about me because I'm your kid and you've made it about me. So then when they not even flip a script, but they're just like...
They get their independence back.
Yeah. And you're just like, ugh. You know that the guy on TikTok who's like, hold on. You've been scrolling too long. That's always how I feel. Yeah.
Exactly. So even like our relationship is very different than what it used to be. And not in a bad way, but I think sometimes you just need space from people to be able to kind of mourn what they used to be in your life or what they used to be to you, because you're understanding that certain choices that people make, it's not about you. It's about, this is their life. And sometimes we put ourselves in these positions in other people's life, and then when they make decisions for themselves, then we're disappointed. And it's like, well, how can you be disappointed? They're a whole ass human being before you even existed. So you can't expect people to make certain decisions, even in certain like intimate relationships that I've had this year. Not like intimate, like sexual, but you know what I mean? Like just with the opposite, close, you know, intimate relationships. Anyway, but different things where I've had to just back off and just let it go. And it's just like, usually I'm just like, well, let me explain to you why I'm leaving.
Oh, you don't do the ghost. See, I'm the ghoster. I'm just like, we'll talk about this in 2 years when it comes up.
I can be a ghoster, but I try not to do that because I don't like that reciprocated back to me, because I can't handle when people ghost me. So I've tried to practice not doing that. And so, but this year I've had to ghost some people and just like, there's no explanation.
See, ghosting is the polite thing to me. I'm like, you just
That's
drift
not polite.
and I'll just drift and we'll drift back one day and maybe we'll talk about it.
That's traumatic. I'm not saying you have to give a whole paragraph. Don't do the paragraph, ladies. Don't do that. But at the same time, there are just some things like, even, for example, I was on one of these dating apps, and this one guy, he reached out to me and was like, WYD, block.
What are you doing?
I'm 37. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Don't WYD me, okay? Don't Bush YD me, okay? I hate it.
I'm still in my 20s. You can hit me with that. We'll see what happens.
No, I hate it. I hate it. And especially if you do that early in the morning, like 9 o'clock in the morning. Bitch, I'm at
going to work.
What
why do you have the time to ask me that? You should be at work too.
You should be at work. But yeah, there are some people in my life that, even friendships that I've had where, again, you see you guys drifting apart, and it's just like, okay, it's very clear that we are not on the same path at the same time, and I'm just gonna have to let you go silently to myself, and I'm gonna have to mourn what I thought in my brain should be. That's not, that I don't see in my present, and I'm okay, and I have to be okay with that, and I'm gonna mourn it properly and move on. And if you don't hear from me, you just don't hear from me. And if you try to send a text or a call and I don't respond, just know that you're probably blocked. And I don't have no hard feelings against you. It's just reciprocity is at the top of my list at this point. Yeah. If it is not reciprocal, I'm not doing it. And that's in professional, love life, the whole nine, sistership, the whole nine. I'm not doing it. I'm not. And then too, even this year, kind of piggybacking off my mental health, my oldest sister she's going to listen to this and be like, I can't believe you said this on the podcast. Oh. It's nothing bad. But my oldest sister and I, we've always had this really weird relationship, and we know what our relationship is. But she has definitely been a rock, especially these past few months for me, that has, I think, catapulted our relationship to a different level where we really, really understand each other as siblings, and we understand our siblingship. Because the thing is, when siblings fight, never get involved.
No.
Never get involved when siblings fight. And we don't fight very often. I mean, we're in different states, so we don't fight very often.
It's weird because sibling fights are the ones where I will say malicious shit.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll always bounce back because guess what? You're my sibling.
Exactly. And we're stuck. I mean, we got the same DNA, so we're stuck with each other.
But if someone else enters the chat, no.
No, we're gonna turn around and we're gonna jump on you. So, but even to a lot of the conversations that I have with my cousin and how our relationship as well has really blossomed and has become really close, and she's become an anchor in my life. That's definitely been able to help. So even when people have to leave, or you mourn these people leaving your life for a specific reason, and you shed them and shed your relationships with them, it's always amazing how God puts people back in place where you feel like you never lost anything in the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So but all that to say, my mental health is is much better now. And I'm gearing up for, it to be even better next year.
That's good.
Because there's a lot of stuff, again, that I couldn't talk about, that I still can't talk about and still can't, discuss and go into detail. But
I don't even know.
Yeah, because I can't even tell her. But
can't tell me.
One day I'll do like a true Hollywood story about it. But
I feel like this was my 27th year. Mm-hmm. And you know how everyone says the 27 Club? Like,
that was my best year. Dude, 27 was a fun year for me.
This year has rocked me.
Yeah.
I just feel more adult. Like, I've had to deal with adult shit finally. Yeah. This is why people kill themselves at 27.
Jesus, that took a
That's
turn.
Why all these people have died at 27, because I'm in this weird middle year where I'm like not 30 and feeling all this pressure, but I'm not 20 and feeling like I have the rest of my life to live. And
absolutely. It's a transition for sure.
It's this middle phase where I feel like this was the year where I was like, I set the standard for what I want for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. And that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, what do I want to carry through? What I want to shed? What I want to leave behind? Because I'm the one who's just like, I'll ghost it. I'm going to stop responding. We'll figure it. Me and my roommate always say, like, let's think about that tomorrow. That's our catchphrase.
And tomorrow never comes.
Never comes. Or we like all this shit to do at the house, and we're like, let's do it tomorrow. Like, let's talk about it tomorrow. Yeah. So I understand the 27 Club now.
Yeah.
This has been a weird year.
I think it's been even worse because you're in the middle of a pandemic as well.
Oh, so weird.
It would have been so much easier had we not been in a pandemic.
The pandemic changes everything. It's the way it's the way people think. It's the way people move and work. There's so many not aggressions. There's like, I don't even know if it's idiosyncrasies. There's so many little things I see people do or say now that mean so much more. Like, And that it would never be a problem before, like your vaccination status, whether or not you're going out, how you view the pandemic, how you think about people who have, you know what I mean? Yeah. Things like that never would have meant anything Politics. Before. Politics. And now I'm like, well, what does that say about you as a person? Yeah. Oh, the fact that you are anti-vax or pro-vax, what does that say about you? Or that you waited this long, or that you're still going out in the middle of a pandemic. Those kinds of things. Yeah. Say whatever about you, and that's weird.
Speaks volumes.
It speaks volumes, and no one wants to have to think about that. That's stuff you would discover about someone maybe like 2 or 3 months in. Right. But now it's in my face because I'm like, oh, do you not care about the livelihood of all these other people around you? Did you have someone die of COVID? Do you not? Does that not affect you? Ugh, so gross. You have to think about stuff like that.
But I even think too, like losing people, especially this past like year and a half. You know, people who are close to you, people who are, you know, in close proximity to you who have died. And it's just like, when you lose people like that, there's either one or two things you're going to do. You're either going to fight or flight. And I think for me, even losing people in this pandemic, it's kind of been like, you know, I understand, because it's okay. For example, you know how in the ICU, you're accustomed to a certain level of death, right? And so death, as crazy as it sounds and as dark as it sounds, you become accustomed to people dying.
It's like reading the paper. Yeah,
it's literally somebody can a dead body can be in an ICU room next door to you, and you're just looking like, oh, okay, and you see that you're in there with the nurse helping them prep the body or whatever, and you're just like, yeah, girl, because I went to Hobby Lobby, and you become so morbid. And then it's like when somebody close to you passes away or in close proximity, you take a minute and you're like, whoa.
It's different on the other side.
It is so, and it hits you so quickly.
But while you're in it, it's fine. While you're in it, it's fine because it's movement. It's what you see every day and you're fine. You're like, let me keep it together. And then when you're on the other side of it, you're like, oh no. Because now you're thinking of, this is all the families I see. This is all the aftermath. Yeah. And it's icky.
It's horrible to be on that side of the
other day I had my patient code, right? And he had come from inpatient rehab downstairs. He came to me. We eval'd him. The next day he had been in the hospital forever. He coded. It was rough. They ended up not being able to bring him back. His wife, who had been there all the time, wasn't there. No one could get a hold of her. And all I could think was just like, which before I would have literally never would have crossed my mind. It's always like, oh, that's so sad. That sucks. Everyone was trying. Every doctor was in there. Heart failed. The whole team, more doctors than nurses were in there at that point. Right. And you just think, oh, that's so sad. But now being on the other side of that, I'm just like, his wife. Yeah. That's so sudden. That's so shocking. No one thought this was going to happen. Who's going to tell her? Where is she? Why? And that is like the even worser part of being in the ICU now. It changes everything.
Because then it brings back all of the people who, like all of your patients who have died before that point, and it just like hits you like a ton of bricks like, was I insensitive to that person's wife in that moment? Like, why are you screaming? You know what? It was their time to go. They should have let them die a long time ago. And this is like, when it happens to you so close, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, no, I changed my mind. Let me change my will.
Yeah, like, God, it's
horrible.
Death sucks.
Yeah, death really does suck. But also, too, that puts into perspective, even too in this pandemic, because I have had to isolate myself, especially this past year, because of working with COVID positive patients and not wanting to be around people, be around my family who, you know, may be immunocompromised or whatever the case may be, and just not giving them anything. Because of that, it's made me reevaluate relationships of people like, you know, well, wow, you haven't checked on me the whole pandemic. Like, damn, like, you know, I'm working in the trenches and you haven't even called to say, hey, bitch, you need some water? You all right? You got toilet paper? You know, and it's just like, well, God damn. Like, I mean, and it's not that they don't care about me. It's just people, when you prioritize yourself in people's lives and people's life, and you do that not on purpose, but you do it anyway, you're always going to be disappointed because you should never try to position yourself as someone else's life. Right.
So. And I always have like, because we work in a hospital and it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated or the most cautious person in the world or someone who throws caution to the wind, we have to help you.
Yeah,
you're
we do.
Here. Yeah. So I'm always in that mindset. So I don't give a shit if you're vaccinated or whatever. You're here. I don't care what your reason is. We're all here you got it. You have the COVID. You're here. But I'll have friends who are just so like vocal and they'll be like, I can't believe this, like, what are these people doing? I can't believe they're unvaccinated. I have a friend who works in I have a friend who works in the hospital with these patients, and I feel so touched, and I'm just like, you are so out there and vocal for me, and then I feel bad because I'm on the other side, like, I don't give a shit, like, whatever you are, whatever you can, I don't care. I'm so like, it's compassion fatigue for it.
It really is.
Whatever you are, who you are, I don't give a shit. You're here and you're sick. If you're sick, you're sick. But then it feels good to have people on the other side being like, I can't believe they're acting like this. You work in a hospital and da 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 da.
Absolutely. It definitely is very different. It definitely hits you very, very, very different. One of the things that I can say that just kind of, piggybacking off of.
Disgusting.
Sorry, it's the hot chocolate. Piggybacking off of what you said as far as. Hot chocolate doesn't
make you burp.
The sugar. I'm trying to burp out the diabetes. Anyway, one thing that I have seen that I'm appreciative for, especially with regard to this podcast, because it's not all negative things that we've learned from this year. There's definitely a lot of positive things. One thing that I can appreciate is your growth on this podcast that I have seen as not only an occupational therapist, like working in clinical setting, being able, like you said, getting your footing and being able to see you, learn and be able to develop your clinical judgment. It's always great for me to see like new grads develop their clinical judgment because it's like, okay, I trust you now. Like
that's the scariest thing.
Oh yeah, because there's no roadmap of how to develop clinical judgment. So even just the way that you've been able to grow, I think professionally and personally, and I think even too, like you saw life. I'm still proud. I'm a proud mama. I'm a proud mama. You finally saw
I did
life.
It for you.
So you're getting more stamps on your black card, and I'm appreciative of that. So yeah, but yeah, being able to see you grow as a professional, and being able to navigate corporate America, because I think a lot of people, no one shows you how to do that. Nobody shows you.
You're already used to bulldoze in meetings and be like,
yeah.
I'm going to fix all this shit.
Exactly. And then you're just like, but you're learning how to be strategic as well too. And I think for me, and that's why I love the dynamic of our podcast, because I am 10 years older than you. And I try not to tell you what to do because I'm not your mother. Like I look at you as a little sister, and it's like, you still need, I can't protect you from everything, nor do I want to, because there are certain things that you have to learn, just like people for me who were, older than me, who, saw me grow and saw me, develop my own sense of judgment and stuff like that. So
yeah, I feel like unfortunately you went through some shit this last year, right? Yeah. So it would be insensitive of me to not take from that, considering all the shit you went through, and not grow and learn from it. Because I'm like, it had to be for a reason, a purpose. But also it gives me more of a backbone at work to be like, well, no, they did this fucking shit to her. Why wouldn't they do it to me? And why is no one else seeing it? And don't you know, da-da-da. So...
And how to navigate through it. So it's not for nothing. Hate that it happened to you. Very glad you're out of it. Almost.
Almost. You're coming out of it.
I'm coming out of it.
But it was very eye-opening to me, because I think, especially at work, because there are very few colored people, it's very easy to be like, well, that's happening to her. Like that's her experience. That's what she's framing it as, da-da-da-da-da. But being closer to it, you're like, nah, that's happening to everyone, just differently. Maybe not as aggressively to you, but they don't give a shit about any of us.
Yeah.
So it's been very interesting.
And learning how to navigate that. Like, I think even to this past year, like, it put into perspective to just how we've been duped.
Bamboozled.
Manipulated. Just, from government to corporate America to like everything. And it's like this past year has really been like this delicate balance between YOLO and you gotta conserve.
Because 2020 was like, we're all in it together. Crazy pandemic. What's happening? Everyone just do the best they can.
Help your neighbor.
In 2021, it settled out, and still companies were like, fuck y'all. And we were like, no.
Fuck y'all, but here's a pizza party.
Exactly. We were like, no, we're not new to this. We're true to this at this point. And we were told it was gonna all kind of even out, and they're like,
no, not at all. You're replaceable.
Exactly.
Peace, bitch. Yeah, there's definitely a delicate balance between, YOLO and conservation. But I definitely know that 2022 is going to be an amazing year. I'm manifesting it. I'm claiming it already. I got to do my vision board before December 31st.
That's fun.
I'm gonna do a digital one this year though, as opposed to going to get magazines and all that kind of. I literally
do people even buy magazines anymore?
Do they even make magazines?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, everything is like cardstock photos and Canva and everything like that. But yeah, I'm excited for what's gonna happen in 2022.
I don't feel like I'm having a butterfly moment, but I feel like I'm having like a outer cocoon shedding layer moment. So I am excited for 2022. Yeah. I feel settled more settled than I have been in a long time.
Really? I feel shaken.
You feel shaken? Mm-hmm. I feel settled in myself.
Like pulled back, almost like a slingshot.
I feel settled in myself with like a rocky exterior.
Okay.
Like there may be shit going on all outside, but like I'm chilling me in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see how that progresses in 2022. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I just feel like this year I was like, I got to prioritize me and my mental health, and like shakes come and go, but friends are forever. You know what I mean?
Forever?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
What movie is that from?
Just Friends. Anyway.
Forever. Okay.
I'm just like, I'm ready for whatever now. I feel like 27 threw a bunch of shit in me that I didn't think I was ready for. And like, I'm still here and living. So whatever the fuck, I'm here for it. Yeah. I'm gonna take the kicks.
Yeah.
And we'll just rock it out.
I definitely think 2022 is going to be a year for the books for me in a positive way.
Good.
Because I am completely taking the brakes off.
Oof. I love that.
There's no holds bar.
Ooh. I'm scared.
There are no brakes on this vehicle. Straight gas, all 22.
All gas, no brakes.
No brakes at all. And I'm talking about mentally, relationship-wise.
Means you're going to travel with me,
spiritually. Yes.
Let's go somewhere.
Let's go somewhere. Let's do that.
You can't bring your own washcloths, though, or your own sheets.
Then I can't go. Then I will pump the brakes on. Brakes are in my pocket. Brakes are in my pocket. But yes, we definitely need to travel. We'll take this show on the road. But
so you're just full steam ahead on 2022.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that.
It's already started in every aspect. And if you cannot keep up, oh well. And I'm not apologizing, and I'm not slowing down.
I just don't think anyone has to apologize for anything anymore. If you're going to be an asshole, you don't have to go be an asshole. If you're going to be great, go be great. Yeah. Everyone's allowed to do what the fuck they want, and everyone else on the other end of that has to decide whether you're going to put up with it or not. And
exactly.
Everything's on everyone. Mm-hmm. I'm sick and tired of this shit. Just
that took a turn.
Everything's on yourself. Be who you want, and then you decide if what you're going to put up with and what you don't want to put up with.
Absolutely. And I think too, being unafraid to navigate what you don't know will take you places much further than being in your comfort zone, because a lot of times we are just like, well, I don't want to do this because this is very scary. And it is. And it's just like, well, what if I fail? Well, what if you succeed?
Yeah.
And if you fail, guess what? Failure is a good thing. It teaches you lessons in life. And I think one of my biggest lessons this year that I have learned is that just because I want it doesn't mean that it's going to happen.
Oof.
And it's so simple, but I'm telling you, when you learn that lesson, and I'm still learning it daily, that in my brain, I see an outcome to a situation and I repeat it and I want to manifest it all day long. And then God is like, interesting. That's what you want? Okay, well, there's something better. So I'm not going to give you that. But, and then when it doesn't happen, I'm disappointed and I'm just like,
but like,
well, Jesus, I was praying and manifesting.
But it's not even a regular disappointment. It's like a no.
Yeah, it's just like,
I've worked so hard. Everything. Yeah. That's my problem too. I'm so used to not everything going my way, but like if I work for it, it's gonna happen.
Exactly.
If I put in what I need to put in, it's gonna come to fruition. And when it doesn't, after I've done all the things I need to do, that's when I get pissed off.
My feelings are so hurt. I'm just like, Jesus, how dare you?
Because most stuff, Lord. I'm just like, I don't put my full energy into it. If it happens, if it happens, it happens. It definitely doesn't.
Oh, see, I'm not like that.
Unless I put my full energy to it, and then that shit better fucking happen.
Exactly.
It's not gonna be good for me.
And when it doesn't happen,
I'm just,
Lord, I'm upset with you right now.
I'm like, how could you? I did X through whatever that I needed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
You said that I could have the desires of my heart. How dare you not give me the desires of my heart?
I've been praying every night before I close my eyes.
But you know what's so funny is this prayer that I pray is like, Lord, let your will be done. But let your will be what I want.
Let our will.
Let our will, Jesus. You said that I'm going to throw your word back in your face, Lord. You said that you would give me the desires of my heart.
Where at?
Lord, let your will be done and let your will please be that. X, Y, and
exactly.
Z. And the Lord is like, Monica, that's not how you pray to me, but okay. Your heart is
appreciate
pure.
the gesture.
Exactly. Thank you for at least praying to me, but that's not what's gonna happen. But yeah, where do you see the podcast going? What not necessarily resolutions, but
worldwide.
I think so too.
Do you think so?
I think so too.
I think we've been doing pretty good.
I think we just have to get in the right hands. Our
right ears.
Right ears. we're moving up there. We're doing really,
I was
really
surprised
good.
when I saw how many TikTok followers we had.
Yeah, me too.
Popping off on the ticks.
Yeah, you just got to respond to them because
I know. Hey, listen, I think I messed up that.
Listen,
but I'm on
these little kids, they be responding in the comment, and I just be like, I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to go back and forth.
I forget I have social media until I do. So my ADHD will be in check in 2022, and I will be on it.
You better be.
I will be.
We'll make you sign a contract for the podcast.
These days are your TikTok days.
Exactly.
I really just need to do that. Honestly, I think if I could get down a schedule, I'd be okay.
I don't think because you have ADHD, you're ever going to be able to do that. I don't think it'll let you. I don't know anybody with ADHD.
I've been on ADHD talk lately, and I'm just like, my brain is not right.
It's not that it's not right.
It's not that it's not right. It's just that it's opposite of everything.
It's a different way of doing it.
It's the opposite of how everything is set up. So I just have to
modify. And
exactly.
There's a different way
Which you'd think I'd be able to do because I'm an occupational therapist, but I'm just like,
You guys are the worst.
I know. I fucking know.
You're flower children.
I know. That's probably why I'm an occupational therapist.
Most occupational therapists, I would say, probably have ADHD because you're flower kids. You can't even do one assignment at one time.
That was like ADHD. You're either hyper focused.
Yeah.
You are like can't do anything to save your life, or you've lost everything.
There's like that one video I saw. This lady says, "Oh, for all my ADHDers, here's what happens: don't pick it up and put it down, put it away. Oof. Don't pick it up and put it down, put it away." And I was like, "I sent that to you. You probably didn't even look at it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll try again 2022."
I am trying my best.
It's okay. Again, there's nothing wrong with having ADHD. It's just a different way of doing things. It is a different way.
I try so hard, but unless it's right in front of my face and you're forcing me to do it, it's just not.
At least you're more flexible. I'm more rigid.
That's true.
Because I'm very type A.
I would like to think that I'm self-aware enough to know that like I'm not perfect and I'm annoying as shit because I don't do what I say I'm going to do, but I'm just here for it. And if you get me in the right time, it'll happen.
I just want you to answer your text messages.
That's going to be a tough one. That is a tough one for me.
I kind of feel like you right now, only because I'm going to show you this. I have never had this in my life before. This is how you can tell that there's a transition. Look at my emails.
Holy moly.
And I don't like the little red
You don't.
Things. Yeah. So the fact that I have that. Yeah, the fact that I have that is just like the notifications. I hate notifications on my phone, so I always try to clear everything out. But the fact that I have that I'm trying to learn how to...
through something? That's fine.
No, I'm not going through something. I'm just learning how to not be so rigid. And
there you
it's
go.
okay.
Maybe I'll learn to be more rigid. We could just swap a little bit.
No, I kind of like my rigidity.
Okay.
I'm okay with
my thing, you know how people do that annoying thing where they're like, oh, I thought I answered it. Like, I thought I responded to it. And I'm always like,
I didn't respond to you.
That's bullshit. Yeah. But I also I'm like, I don't think I responded to it. But in my head, I did. So it's just cleared from the queue.
Gotcha. No, I know because you texted me earlier and you were just like, yeah, you didn't respond. Yeah, no, I saw it. And I didn't have the energy to focus on it. So I was like, I'll respond
I'm consistently inconsistent. What more can you ask for?
I think self-awareness is the best kind of awareness.
Thank you very much. I'm working through it.
I'm excited because 2022, I'm going to get married and I'm having a child, maybe two, maybe twins.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
You can't have twins in the same year, I don't think.
Why not?
Oh, no. Two. You can have twins in the same year. You would have them at the same time.
Do you know what twins is?
Forgot. Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are your big... do you do resolutions?
No, I don't.
Okay. What are your big...
I do a vision board, though.
Okay, what are your big goals for 2022?
My big goals for 2022...
Okay, we're not having...
Is to learn how to say 2022. My big goals for 2022, number one is to heal my gut.
Ooh, that's number one. That is a good one. That'll change your life.
Yes, I'm healing my gut, and I am not starting in 2022. I'm actually starting now on it. I've meal prep very differently this time.
Stephen Cabral, ever heard of him? No. Dr. Stephen Cabral. You should listen to his podcast.
Really? He's a gut.
He's a gut guy. Gut guy. He sells a bunch of gut stuff, but he's all about healing your gut.
Yeah, that's one for me. Professionally, being able to launch some things that I can't really go into discussion about, but professionally, growing professionally, and especially in the business world. With this podcast, I want it to be all over the place and be,
I like that.
Us like, good morning, everybody. It's DJ and Angela
Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God.
We are the Breakfast Club. And yeah, my husband finding me. That's really it. What about you? What are your big goals for 2022?
Wish I've thought about it, but I haven't. I just want to...
Being wealthy, too.
Yeah, I'd like to be wealthy. I'd like to be, genuinely just, radiating happiness. I walk in the... I want my descriptor when people talk about me to be like, she's always so happy.
Then they hate you.
I don't care. I want me to just fucking like happy.
That's like one of our coworker, well, old coworker to me, but still work. All right, friends, it's time to go to the floor. We're like, shut the fuck up.
I still try to keep her humble. I was like, shut up.
We love you. We love you. You know who you are.
My goals for this year are to just be like sound mind, sound body, happy. Like
one band, one sound.
Yeah.
I had to bring that back.
This is the year of me. I'm rocking with me until I'm 30. So I would also love a husband and kids. I don't want kids. I'd also love a husband.
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, definitely. I think it will. I think it will for the both of us.
Yeah, why not?
Hopefully they're not brothers, but we'll see.
Hey, I'd be open to it.
I mean, mine's got to be older though.
Or yours could be younger and mine could be older.
No.
Why not?
No, the maturity level. Absolutely not.
I am mature.
I'm not you of the man.
He'll be fine. No.
I'm not a cougar.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Soundbite.
I don't have any big 22 goals yet. In typical me fashion, I haven't spent time to think about it.
I wrote down about 30 goals.
Holy shit.
Because I'm telling you, I do this religiously every single year.
You write 30 goals every year?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because I split them up
between... How do you have the attention span?
Because I don't have ADHD. But yeah, I break them up like professionally, personally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and intimately as well too. So I always write different categories of goals, and that's how I make my vision boards every single year. So throughout the year, I'm adding it to this one piece of paper. Like this is another goal I want to achieve. And so this past year ruined it all, but whatever.
This year for sure, COVID willing, I am traveling more. I already booked my summer trip. I think we're doing Machu Picchu. I'm gonna hike.
Ooh, that's fun.
A wonder of the world. I'm getting back out there.
Yeah, I need to be back in the gym. I need to get back in the gym. I started and then I stopped. Ugh, I'm so
COVID
sick of the inconsistency.
Everyone for a loop. I haven't cooked a meal since COVID started. I haven't gone to the gym like I should.
You haven't cooked? What do you eat?
I don't know. Hospital food.
I was gonna say you don't even eat. Yeah, you always Starbucks every day, cafeteria every lunch. Half the time she wasted.
It'd be.
You do.
I do. And
let's work on that. Not wasting food. We're in a shortage.
Listen.
At least get you some rice and beans in your house. So
I know.
God forbid
I have no food in the house. Alcohol, that's it.
Oh my, you're gonna die.
Like 6 bottles of wine.
You're not gonna survive the I bought a 5-pound bag of rice.
Well, I'll be coming over here.
No, you won't.
That's fine. Yes, I will.
My rice. I got plenty of yum sauce though, but it's fine.
Yeah, I feel it. It's gonna be a good year. I'm happy for us. Very happy for you and that you're moving on to bigger and better things.
Yes, I'm excited for what's going to happen to you as well too. I'm excited for what's going to happen with our podcast. I'm excited for where our careers are going to take us, either together or separately. So I'm excited about.
I'm excited for you to go back to the bedside with me somewhere so that we can have content like we used to. Like poopy shitty content.
I mean, I could always get a job at the bedside, like on the weekends, but then you're gonna be too tired because you work full time.
That's true.
So we'll
it sounds like I have to drop down.
Sounds like you're gonna have to drop down to part time.
Sounds like someone out there needs to marry me already, so I can work part time, and then I can have fun to do my podcast.
Wait, and then who's gonna hire us to like specifically be like an OT? PT duo to just we only
someone
need 4
who
hours.
listens to this podcast.
Exactly.
Anyone out there? Yeah. I want to see one patient a day. I'll just come in real quick.
Seriously, let's just do one. Well, we got to do at least 3 to get like content, but it'll be quick evals.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah. Listen, we're great people, great
Absolutely.
therapists.
We've been doing this for a while.
We'll workshop it.
Me, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been doing it for. I would now say I'm not a new grad, right?
How many years have you known? 2. You're still a new grad. You got to get at least 5 to not be.
Are you kidding
3.
me?
I'm kidding. 3
in a pandemic. I feel like I've lived 3 lives in this pandemic. Well, I've been in the trenches.
You've excelled, but in a normal situation, 2 years is still a new grad.
Okay. Anyway.
But you're moving on up there. You're almost there.
We'll take it.
Almost there. But yeah, so this year is going to be an amazing year. Y'all be safe for New Year's. Please don't go out and drink and drive.
Don't blow up fire. That makes me nervous. The fireworks when you're drunk. Either. Don't shoot your guns. Just go out and have a nice, calm time with your friends and your family.
Watch night. Go to watch night service at your church.
Watch night? Oh, church?
Yeah, watch night service. You never did that?
No. What the fuck? Why would I be at church on New Year's Eve?
Because Jesus is saving your soul before the new year.
On New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Jesus gets me on the 25th, ma'am, not on the 1st or the 31st.
You're going to hell. No, literally, watch night. You go to church at 10 o'clock.
To watch what?
So it's traditionally, watch night was really about the celebration with enslaved time. We don't even gonna go all the way way back there, but it's really watchful service for the enslaved. They would celebrate their new coming into the year, but they would be watchful of, white terrorists walking around trying to kill them. Anyway, neither here nor there. So watch night service is a historically Black thing, but in the Black church, you go to service at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you have like a long church service and all that kind of stuff. And then at like 11:30 or something, everybody goes to the altar and you just pray your way through the new year, thanking God for blessing you and keeping you throughout the year, and that you're going to have an amazing next year.
So when it sit
and then you go to breakfast.
I sit through a service.
Yes.
For 2 hours. Then you want me to pray in an altar for 30 minutes.
Yes.
You got me fucked up.
Because you've never gone to a Black church before. You got to experience a Black church.
One time.
How long did you stay?
Very long.
Yeah. Did you bring snacks?
Of singing. I did not bring snacks. That's where I messed up.
Got to bring snacks.
But I do get an email and text message from them every Sunday asking me to come back.
Yeah. I remember the church I used to go to I still attend virtually.
Bedside Baptist?
No, Love and Faith Community Church in Tallahassee, Florida. The Pastor Lamar Simmons, shouts out to you. They used to do a concert after watch night. So like you would preach and it'd be an amazing service, and then he would literally do a concert afterwards. And so sometimes you wouldn't get out till like 2:30 in the morning.
See, I'm usually blackout on New Year's.
That's not a good thing.
Why? You black out to bring the new year in.
No, you need to be safe.
I'm safely blacked
out. I never go out for New Year's. So you go out to like clubs and all that kind of stuff?
Well, not to clubs, but I'll like pay for like an open bar. You stay one place. I never bar hop. I stay one place. It's either a house party or we've paid for like a hotel or a bar to be there all night.
I never go out if it's not the church, I'm not going.
We did New Orleans one year. That was fun.
If it's not the church, I don't go out on New Year's. I stay.
Church is where it's at.
I'm not saying that's where it's at.
I could black out at a church.
On communion wafers and juice. I mean,
say I won't.
Some churches have wine, but I don't do all that. But yeah. Hey, Mason.
I know. He's obsessed with me. All right. Well, everyone, happy holidays.
Yes.
We're all going to have a good new year. I'm manifesting and praying
Absolutely.
that for everyone.
Absolutely.
And no more COVID.
Listen, this Omarion, it got to go. It got to
go.
Unless if it will help to delay student loan repayback.
Here's the thing. If we had to figure out a way to not pay our loans, I'll take the
Omarion, you're on deck, buddy.
It is what it is. But if Byron's going to make me pay it back, then we're done.
Byron! Exactly. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all so very much for tuning into this special episode as we took a year at a glance and a year rewind of this past year. We hope you guys have done the same and that you all achieve all your goals and that you write them down. Write the vision. Make it plain.
Write them down.
Jesus
Make
said.
a vision board, manifest some shit.
Absolutely.
Write it in blood if you have to.
Call upon your ancestors too. That's one thing I've learned how to do. Call
upon your ancestors?
Absolutely.
That's cool shit. Did you ever watch Vampire Diaries or the originals?
No.
Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it then.
Oh. Maybe our listeners wanted to know.
Oh, okay. It's all about, the originals less than or more than the Vampire Diaries is like witches in New Orleans and like calling on your ancestors, and it's like voodoo shit. It's cool.
Voodoo is a real religion though.
Don't know how you do the voodoo that you do.
That's what Native Americans do. They call on their ancestors.
Crazy.
Asians do the same thing. Southeast Asians do the same thing.
I need to call on my Nigerian ancestors, not my 58% up in Ireland. Potato famine.
I hate you. I so hate you. Yes, definitely call on the Nigerian ones. They're going to help you out in time of trouble.
I appreciate it. That's my New Year's resolution, is to be more black.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Not be more black. Just embrace your blackness.
Yeah, whatever you said.
I can't with you. Goodbye.
All right. Well, remember to spread love.
Spread light.
And don't forget to laugh your
face off. I'm going to need you to... Why is that not working? Oh. Good thing it's not 2022 yet. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious.
I can't believe Sadie. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.